And Mr. Rivera of Florida is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My first question is for Ms. Lee regarding the same issue of the labor leaders in Colombia. Have you talked, or your organization, any representatives from your organization spoken with or met with Colombian labor leaders on this issue?
Thank you so much for the question, Mr. Rivera. In fact, we talk to Colombian labor leaders probably every day or every week about this issue. And they're not monolithic, just like the labor movement in the United States is not monolithic, but the major...
Who have you spoken to recently?
Well, I personally am not having the conversations. We have a Solidarity Center. The AFL CIO sister organization has a Solidarity Center office in Bogota. So we have...
Who is your Solidarity Center spoken to recently?
The Rhett Dumit is our Solidarity Center staff, heads that office. He speaks to the head of the 3 Colombian labor federations and to rank-and-file workers. I personally was in Bogota a couple of years ago.
Hold on. Slow down for a moment.
Yeah.
Who has the Solidarity Center spoken to recently?
You know, they speak to ENS, the Escuela Nacional Sindical. As I said, the heads of all the labor federations as well as rank-and-file workers in Colombia.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't have the names with me right now, but I can send them to you.
The reason
I can send you a long list of names.
I'd like to know the names.
I'd be happy to provide that.
Thank you. I'd like to know the names of who your organization, in terms of labor leaders in Colombia, who they have spoken to. And in particular, I want to give you two names. Luis Fernando Cadavid, who's the president of the Garment, Organized Labor for Garment, the production sector in Colombia, and the leader of the Manufacturer and Services Confederation. Those 2 labor leaders in particular, which are 2 of the largest labor unions in Colombia, I'd like to know if your Solidarity Center has spoken with them, and when was the last time they've spoken with them, because when I was in Colombia earlier this year, as part of a congressional delegation, we met with them in Colombia, and they expressed support for the Colombian free trade agreement. So my question is, you may not have the names, but the ones that you have spoken to, have you received any expressions of support from labor leaders in Colombia for the Colombia FTA?
Yes, we occasionally do speak to labor leaders in Colombia who support the agreement, but the vast majority of the federations and the unions and the workers that we have spoken to are still in strong opposition to the agreement. They're working with the action plan, and they're working with the government to put it in place, but they still have some significant doubts. We had a delegation of Colombian labor leaders here a couple of months ago who were very articulate and very honest.
If the vast majority of the labor organizations that you've spoken to, the leaders that you've spoken to are opposed, I'd like to know the names.
I'd be happy to provide them with you, and I will get back with your staff and provide you a list.
So the names of who you've met with, who you've spoken to, and those that you say are the vast majority that oppose, the leadership.
The leadership represents the federations of the 3 large Colombian...
Yes. Right, so we have 3 large Colombian labor, so I'm assuming 2 out of those 3 you've spoken to and oppose it. I'd like to know the names of those individuals who you say are the majority that oppose this agreement, because my understanding, directly hearing from the leaders of those organizations, is that they support the trade agreement with Colombia. So you just get me that information, because I'd very much like to reconcile that discrepancy. Let me ask you one last question. I've got a news report here from June where it says President Barack Obama faces waning enthusiasm from unions as he prepares for his 2012 re-election bid, according to Richard Trumka. Is that the president of your organization?
That is.
It says Trumka said union members are frustrated by Obama's support for free trade agreements. Labor leaders said they would withhold financial support in next year's election from candidates who haven't sided with labor leaders. And he's quoted here as saying, during the campaign, Obama made significant promises to do an inventory of the trade agreements. He's obviously forgotten that promise. Is it a common practice to threaten to withhold support from the President of the United States if he doesn't side on your issues?
We have a respectful disagreement with the President, and it's important for us to express the reasons for that disagreement. We've expressed it in person and in other ways as well.
So threatening to withhold political support on this issue of trade agreements, that you consider to be part of your persuasive tactics?
I would not call it a threat. What I would say is that the labor movement has staked out a more independent political position in the recent months, and that's an important one where every candidate, whether it's the President of the United States or a member of Congress, we are asking to earn our support, to stand with us on issues that are important to us. I don't think there's anything unusual in that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.